Where's the line between being a kind, helpful person and being a people pleaser? It can blur so easily, can it? Maybe you're someone who genuinely enjoys encouraging others, helping where you can, and showing up with compassion. But somewhere along the way, maybe you started saying yes when your heart was screaming no. You started shaping your identity and your decisions around others' expectations. And now your peace, purpose, and true identity feel buried under the pressure to keep everyone happy. If you've ever felt drained from saying yes too often, struggling to say no, or fearing someone's disapproval, well, you're not alone. And today's episode is for you. We're going to talk about why people pleasing is more than just a bad habit, it's a spiritual trap. We'll examine its roots, the damage it causes, and how to walk in the freedom that Christ died to give you. So let's dive in. Hey there. Are you a Christian woman who's ready to strengthen your faith and stop the madness in your mind? The worry, doubt, anxiety. Do you want something more for your life but are not sure where to even begin? You've come to the right place. Hi, I'm Kristin Campbell. I'm excited that you're here as we journey together to discover mindset renewal and empowered faith for the Christian woman. I call it a people-pleasing prison because that's what it becomes. It's a prison of others' opinions. And the tricky part, most of us walk in voluntarily. So we walk in expecting to find something that will boost us up, but we quickly spiral down. See, we enter when we're unsure of our worth, when we've been hurt or rejected, or maybe we've grown up believing that being nice is the same as being godly. So we want to find something that we feel we lost, and we believe that others' approval is the answer. And often the need for approval comes from a deeper insecurity. We don't know the treasure we carry. Many of us were never told how precious we are, or we were lied to about our true worth. So we feel uncertain of our value and we're hoping someone else will affirm it. But see, here's the trap. If you let others define your worth, you'll constantly feel the need to earn it. You'll live a life of striving. John 10:10 tells us, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I came, this is Jesus speaking, that they may have life and have it abundantly. See, Satan wants to steal your value, kill your identity, and destroy your purpose. And he has no authority on his own to do so. You have to give him permission. And you give him access to you, the treasure that you are in this prison of people pleasing. You don't live an abundant life in prison. Galatians 5:1 reminds us it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. So this includes freedom from others' approval, freedom from striving after something that no person can give you. Now, see, you may have also entered this people-pleasing prison in hopes to heal some wounds that were left behind by trauma. And please remember, when we speak of trauma, it's a broad spectrum. Trauma is not solely abuse or a life-altering event. Sometimes it's a harsh word from a parent. Sometimes it's rejection by a friend, or a moment that you internalized as, I'm not good enough. See, trauma isn't the event itself, it's how your heart interprets it. So the wounds left behind are often lies that you come to accept as truth because of how you perceived that event. And there are other times where this people pleasing grows out of culture or religious upbringing. You may have been taught, especially as women, always to be agreeable, always say yes, never disappoint anyone, even if it costs you, if it costs you your peace. See, this might have been portrayed as being godly, but I want to look at the scriptures. Proverbs 29:25, so good. And I love the Message version because it says this: the fear of human opinion disables. Trusting in God protects you from that. Disables. Like, that's a perfect word. It's so accurate, because here are a few signs of how this fear of human opinion disables you in your own life. Do you struggle to maintain your self-esteem without others' constant praise? Are you afraid of rejection? Do you say yes when you mean no? Do you need people to like you because it defines how you like yourself? Do you apologize even when you're not at fault? Do you agree with others just to keep the peace? Are you unsure of how you really feel? Do you give, even when you're depleted? Does conflict make you shut down or even feel sick? If any of these sound familiar, these aren't minor quirks. These are heavy burdens. They disable you. They wear down your soul. And what's happening when we live this way? Well, one of the major things is we burn out. And we burn out because people are fickle. Their standards change constantly. Every day, something new is quote unquote in and something else is out. You will never please everyone. You were not designed to. And the moment that you try, you get stuck in this cycle of exhaustion and disappointment. Burnout is inevitable. Another thing that happens is we lose our boundaries. And boundaries, we've talked about this before. Yes, they're uncomfortable, but they're essential. Proverbs 4:23 tells us to guard our heart, and boundaries help us to do that. But when we're caught in this people pleasing, boundaries feel like betrayal. And suddenly you're not guarding your heart, you're giving it away. And that's not being responsible for the care of your heart or for the care of others. Healthy boundaries are necessary to live an abundant life. Another thing that happens, and I see this so often, is we feel resentment. See, when we give out of obligation instead of obedience, bitterness builds up. And you may start to resent the very people you're trying so hard to please. That's not living in love. It's a sign that something's off. Now, often God does ask us to do things that are hard for us, that stretch us. Yet in our obedience, his strength empowers us to fulfill what he's asking. And it's our love for him that carries us through the task. But when our motives are to gain the approval of others, well, we walk that road in our own strength. And that road leads to resentment. Another thing that happens is we compromise ourselves. We often begin to react out of insecurity or fear instead of responding to people with truth and love. We say things we don't mean. We shut down. We lash out. We isolate. And we internalize the lie that will never measure up. So we keep chasing approval, hoping it will fix us. But again, we don't realize the treasure we already are. We don't live in the fullness of who we were designed to be. So how do we break free? Well, we start with this truth, and this truth changes everything. God is the only one who has the authority to define your worth because he created you. And what is your worth? It's priceless. It was the life of his only son. Romans 5:8 tells us, but God demonstrates his own love toward us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Christ didn't die for your best moments, for your highlight reels. He died for your lowest moments, the ones you want to hide away forever. And he did it because he knew you were worth redeeming all along in every circumstance. He's never changed his mind. He knew it before the world was even formed. If you look at Ephesians 1:4, and please look at it in the Amplified, it says this, even as in his love, he chose us, actually picked us out for himself as his own in Christ before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy, consecrated, and set apart for him, and blameless in his sight, even above reproach, before him in love. You've already been chosen. You are already on the winning team. You have already been recognized and acknowledged as special, beautiful, his beloved. Your worth is not based on people's applause. It's already been affirmed by Christ. John 8:36 says, if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. You don't have to earn that freedom. You just need to receive it. See, once you accept that your worth is fixed in Christ, now the shift begins. You stop living to avoid disappointing others, and you start living to please the Lord. Galatians 1:10 says, am I now trying to win the favor and approval of men or of God? If I were still trying to be popular with men, I would not be a bondservant of Christ. And being a bondservant of Christ, it isn't slavery. It's living out the fullness of the life that God predestined for you. It's following after Jesus. It's freeing. It becomes an act of worship, an overflow of your love for him. And as you grow more confident in his love for you, now you start living boldly, more courageously in your purpose. There is no fear of man anymore because his perfect love casts out that fear. And that's found in 1 John 4:18. Now, is this easy? Not always. It's all right. It requires awareness. It requires prayer. It requires boundaries. But remember, you're not doing it alone. You're walking with the Spirit. And here's just a few practical ways that you can live this out. One really important thing to start with is pause before saying yes. Ask the Lord, is this from you? And allow yourself time to answer. See, personally, I have a rule, especially with my children. If you rush me for an answer, it's going to be no. I need to check with the Lord. And you want to begin to trust the Lord to direct your steps. You also want to examine your motives. Again, ask, am I trying to gain approval or am I following your lead, Lord? And you want to be really honest with your answer. And I want to encourage you, it's actually a good thing if the Lord shows you that you're still trying to gain the approval of people. How else are you going to grow? We are all works in progress. So if he's showing you that, okay, continue to surrender it. You also want to set those healthy boundaries with others and with yourself. And again, boundaries can be challenging to navigate. So I want to encourage you, seek support with this. It's too important to ignore. Okay. Another practical thing to practice, and this can be really hard for people, you have to accept that disappointing people is sometimes necessary to obey God. And when you are walking in obedience, God will handle the rest. But you need to just accept disappointment is part of it. You also just want to, as I always say, continue renewing your mind with truth. Meditate on the word. Find the scriptures that speak to you, that affirm who you are in Christ, that affirm God's love for you. Declare them over your life every single day. Like any change, obviously, this is going to take intention and practice, but every time that you submit your heart to God, He strengthens you more and more. Listen, you don't have to stay and live in the prison of others' opinions. You're already free. Take a deep breath. Let go of the pressure to keep everyone happy. You're not here to perform. You're here to live in your God-given purpose. And when your heart is anchored in Christ, you can begin to show up with that authenticity, with the joy of the Lord, with courage. Remember Proverbs 29:25. The fear of man brings a snare, but the one who trusts in the Lord will be protected. Now, I pray this episode spoke to your heart. And if you like a free reflection guide to help you walk through this topic, head over to my website, www.thekristincampbell.com. Download it under podcasts. You're going to find scriptures, journal prompts, practical steps to just help you to begin living free. Until next time, my friend, walk in freedom, not fear, and live to please the one who already delights in you. Be blessed. Thank you for listening to today's podcast. I hope you walked away a little stronger in your faith and freer in your mind. You are so loved. If you like this episode, share it with a friend. Leave your ratings and reviews, and engage with me on social media. I'd love to hear from you.